같이 Turn it up 새벽이 다갈 때까지 그냥 살아도 보여 우린 저기에 그만하는 널 원수적일래 수적거려 난 사람인데 So what 네 멋대로 살아 잘네 거야 애쓰지 좀 말아 쟤도 괜찮아 Everybody say la 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 say la 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 소리 들어 소리 질러 burn it up 불타오르네 용서해줄게.
Hello and welcome. Oh God, my dog. Hello, hello. So yeah, my city's on fire. It's crazy. It's crazy out here right now. Insane. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. Not me though. Cause my literal city is on fire. Well, good thing I don't live in the mountains or anything, so I don't have to evacuate. But like, oh, it's insane. Right, you know what it looks like right now? Right now, it looks like the Mexico filter is on outside. That's literally what it looks like. Okay, okay. So we're gonna start the stream off by doing Firewatch. We're gonna do like a little recap of what happened. Last night was crazy. The Hollywood Hills almost burned up. It was insane. Okay, let's switch over. Let's do live coverage of the Los Angeles fires. Basically, what I'm doing right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This could be a no. I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, no IRL streams anytime soon. The air quality is shit. I think it's giving me a headache. It's insane right now. Everything's chaos. Oh God. Okay. All right. Let's see what's happening on the news. I know we hate news, but guys, come on. Let me just. Okay, let's go right here. Let's go to this ABC. You want to know which fire is closer to me? I'll tell you. I don't. I think that might be doxing myself, right? Oh man, what the hell? Did they actually go on ad after I switched over? You bitches. What is this chat? This chat's moving so fast. Okay. Let's see what other channel there are. This one is also on ad break. I think both chats are the same. I think it's just bots spamming, not gonna lie. Let's go to KTLA. Let's see what they got. I hear their stupid ads, bro. Get off of here. You're running ads in the middle of a crisis? That's insane. Let's do this, and let's do this, and
begin to bring these praying for everybody.
Yes, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Senator.
Thank you both.
All right, we're going to move on now to Corrine Winter. Again, this is
praying for everybody.
Yes, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Senator.
Thank you both.
let's see what's
All right, we're going to move on now to Corrine Winter. Again, this is real quick. This is Mount Wilson again, under threat here, and of course, this is a big communications hub for, you know, a lot of law enforcement, fire departments, as well as every radio and television station in the Los Angeles area. This is a key communications point.
All right, let's check in with Corrine Winter. Corrine, you're in the Palisades area at an evacuation center, correct?
Hi there, Lou and Glenn. Yes, we've been here all morning. The Westwood Recreation Center. It's on South Sepulveda Boulevard. And there is so much heartbreak, so much devastation here with families arriving all morning long. Many of them arrived overnight. This is where those displaced from the Pacific Palisades fire have been staying. And there have been like truckloads of people, shipments of goods arriving here all morning. Need is so great. They're devastated. That's what they've been telling me. There's uncertainty. They don't know what they'll be returning home. Their homes just burned to the ground, but they are getting some help here. The Salvation Army's here, the Red Cross, tons of workers with those organizations on site. And there's food and water and other emergency supplies that have been delivered. They're inside right now. Zero containment, though, with the Pacific Palisades fire. So there are so many families that they've been displaced and they need help right now. The exact numbers are unknown, but there are about 1,000 structures that we've been reporting that have been destroyed. And one of the most destructive natural disasters in LA's history. And the sad part is it's not over yet. This is just the beginning for so many people, for so many of those who have been impacted. More than 17,000 acres burned. I believe that's the last report, the numbers that we've been reporting. The winds have subsided today. That's a good thing, but those red flag warnings are still in effect. Wind gusts expected to be up to 60 miles per hour, continuing throughout the day. So a lot of families here saying that they're hoping that the end is near with the whole destruction being over, the fires, some containment, but right now the outlook just doesn't seem to be favorable. And during this unimaginable time,
this one.
We're streaming. You can also get the latest weather information, any breaking news updates on these fires. So really, that app has been a connection, a lifeline for so many people during what we've faced over the last couple of days.
Yeah, it's so important to stay informed, especially at this time. And from these pictures, we can see that those winds are dying down a little bit, but they seem to be coming back alive. And we're hearing word about possible 60-mile-an-hour winds later. We've got Danny Romero following that. Danny.
Yeah, we got those wind gusts that are the real concern. The steady winds are coming down, although they're going to be ramping up as well. I'm going to show you that here in a second. That said, because of the winds and the very dry conditions and the ongoing fires, we're going to have this red flag warning effect until tomorrow. This area here around Acton, that's where you have a high wind watch. That's the possibilities of those 60-mile-per-hour gusts that you were talking about, Javon. But give you an idea in the fire zones. Here's the wind profiles looking at. Kicking up a little bit by this afternoon, just a bit up 10 miles per hour. Then taking a bit of a break during the afternoon. But then look at this. Nighttime, overnight, it ramps back up again, that 30-mile-per-hour range in the early morning hours around the Palisades fire. So that area, be very, very aware of the aforementioned Eden fire. Here too, yes, just like you said, ramping up at the moment, 13 up to 16, taking a break here during the evening hours, but then right back up again as winds increase again during the overnight hours. So we're not out of this thing at all. Here's a great shot of how those winds are looking over the area right now. We're seeing those 40-mile-per-hour winds. The areas are shown in that purple. Those are the really strong winds, 50, 60-mile-per-hour winds. So yeah, the wind event is not quite done. We are still going to be in an area of concern. So looking ahead on the AccuWeather.
Why is everything muted?
So many looters here. There were looters down the street
20
held at
people arrested for
gunpoint.
looting.
Police
Insane.
are kind of doing the best they can, like these firefighters, the first responders here. They're seeing looters walking down the street with large TVs, just taking advantage of what little this town has left.
Despicable, right? And this is something that
Like
Sheriff Robert Luna made mention of at a news conference at 8 o'clock this morning. So far, there have been 20 arrests for looting and preying on people's homes. New LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman spoke a few hours ago and let the looters know he has some very strong words for them. He plans to bring the full force of the law at them.
My mic volume needs to go
Los Angeles has true grit. It has resilience. And it will rebuild, and it will rebuild better than ever. But along the way, there might be people out there who want to take advantage of the people who are suffering these tragic losses. These criminals need to hear, as they've heard from the sheriff, as they've heard from Chief McDonald, an unmistakably clear message that if you want to go ahead and loot, if you want to commit burglary, if you want to engage in grand theft, if you want to engage in these internet scams where you're going to take advantage of people who are going to be seeking insurance and government benefits,
the most diabolical thing I've heard about this whole thing
you will be arrested,
is that people say the housing market's going to get better because of all the land that's available now. It's crazy.
And the reason I want to send this warning now is I don't want any mistake later that somehow they thought, oh, it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. These acts are despicable,
I don't really want to go and see
and we will prosecute them with maximal punishment.
It's the same thing when you're talking about people who rob people in broad daylight as they're just walking down the street, and they're vulnerable, and you have people who are taking advantage of a vulnerable situation.
I want to see like clips from yesterday of the,
I mean, this happens all the time. Whenever there's a tragedy, there are people who take advantage of other people, and you can't really quite understand, you know, what goes through these people's minds.
They had to evacuate
disgusting is the only word I can think
and the worst of humanity doing this, you know, because it is an example of just preying on the people who have lost everything.
So fast.
Yeah. And then thankfully we are seeing the best of humanity on the other side, but we shouldn't see the flip side, the worst.
That is really discouraging and really unfortunate. So the devastating Eaton fire has destroyed the Sahak Mesro Armenian Christian School. This is in Altadena. This institution has served the community there since the 80s. The fire left the school in ruins. Look at this. So many families absolutely heartbroken. Joining us right now is the school's principal, Maral Boyajian, to share her thoughts and tell us what's next for the community.
God, imagine your school burns down. God, that would be so... I don't know. Some people be like, yeah.
With some breaking news, we've got a new fire. So what you're looking at the top left of your screen, now full screen, this is the Hollywood Hills. 2300 block of Solar Drive, Astral Drive is where this fire began, beginning at 10 acres. We're near the Hollywood sign, not far from Griffith Park, all the rest of that. And we see a fire just ripping right now at night. They are requesting more helicopters, more water drops. We see one helicopter there, but this is one of those iconic spots near Hollywood, near West Hollywood, that people look around the world and think of Hollywood. This is the Hollywood sign, so you don't see, you can see from there, and that is now a new fire that we're battling right now.
Again, this all ignited on the 2300 block of Solar Drive at Astral Drive. We've seen the aircraft out there, which is always good to see, especially when a fire just breaks. This chopper that's flying in there and literally into the flames and into the smoke. Well, there's that water drop.
There's a clip
we've heard from some people, etc. We have not Karen Bash, chief, and also LA City Fire Chief. All of the fire officials who would be involved in this, they are literally at a press conference right now talking about the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, and the Hearst fire.
And so hopefully, we can go back to this when they start to answer some of the questions, but just FYI, I mean, the good news on this fire so far is we don't know of any structures burned with this one, but we know that is a very busy area with a lot of homes nearby.
Relentless wildfires in Southern California, causing widespread destruction, as you know.
All right.
When the sun came up.
Next, let's go back here. They're doing a live shot of the new fire that just came out.
This stretch, so there's certainly some fire. How much fire? And then there's a lot of smoke that's covering this stretch. So there's certainly some fire
kind of shit too,
in the smoke, or exactly where the active fire. If there's any good news here, is that we're seeing mostly white smoke, not a lot of dark black smoke, which would basically be a sign that it's in heavy fuel or a structure is burning. You can see the aircraft, the water dropping helicopters that are making their way through the area. That's a LA County Firehawk. We just saw the AC-130 make their way through here just moments ago. That's one of the largest planes that we'll see in this area, likely the largest plane we'll see fly through this area. And it's drop those FOS check lines. And we'll pan over here just a little bit more. Let's see if we can bring up any of the small streets here. Let's see if that translates. And you can see some of the active fire that's there on a ridge line. Some homes that are tucked in there. There's a Augusta there from LA City Fire that's getting ready to drop likely some water over this stretch. But there's a couple of streets here. Some of the active fire, but again, it's too difficult to make out right now if any structures have been lost in this area. I'll send it back to you.
17,000
Hate to see that.
Yeah. There is a little bit of a burn scar right up above Pacific Palisades from a fire that took place about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that can maybe slow it down a little bit from advancing from the west to the east. But again, Glenn and Lou, these Santa Ana winds, they are sticking around, and we're going to see Mount Wilson in one moment and show you that as well.
Yeah, we brought this to you earlier in the 11 o'clock. Mount Wilson actively on fire, a structure there just below the transmitters. Mount Wilson's about nearly 6,000 feet.
Oh, God. Wait, hold on. Look at that. Holy shit. I want to see if I can see that from outside, but I doubt it. Yeah, this is the fire that's like the closest to me. So I'm monitoring it. Monitoring. Hopefully no evacuations. I doubt it. I highly doubt it, but still. This fire is burning Mount Wilson. Oh God, the structure is on fire on the left, right there.
Look on the other side, and and Lou and I just, our hearts break about this as well. There's so much wildlife up in that particular area as well. I bike and hike in that area. I see frequently mountain cats, a lot of deer, hundreds and hundreds of deer that are up there. And that's also unfortunate in the Santa Monica Mountains as well. There's a great deal.
Real quick, and then we get back. Here's the clip. Why are the quality such? See, I told you, my Wi-Fi is shit. Everything's like quality. Oh, it's just this. What the fuck? But look at this.
She's back in the Palisades, and I understand that you have another structure burning behind you.
Look at that perfect water drop.
Do we have Chelsea?
Whoa, that was good. That was so good.
In the meantime, that was a nice water drop that we just witnessed. Yeah. I mean, it's she's back in the Palisades, that was really good. And I understand that you have another structure burning behind you.
This was how it was yesterday for people evacuating, and it was like gridlocked. I don't live anywhere near there, but the Hollywood evacuation was horrible.
It's close, actually, to Mount Wilson. If you, of course, you've got to go a little bit lower to about that 1,000-foot level. But with the fire that sort of burns uphill, it creates, and I've said this quite often over the last few days, it creates its own winds. And sometimes within those winds, within that circulation, these embers will go even higher up.
That was where the fire is, right there. That was where the fire, and look at the city just right here. The fire, like, look, there's so many people. So many people live in this area. Jesus Christ.
Right now, and there's the observatory. You could see that on the right-hand side of your screen. That's a very popular place where lots of research is done. So we hopefully can get this fire sort of limited and mitigated to just these particular areas before it can take out any of these transmitters. But am I seeing a little bit of fuzz check right there at the bottom, Glenn Ludy? It looks a little orange, a little red. It could be the sun's reflection off of some of that cloud cover, but
that would be fantastic.
It would be great, yeah. If we could get if we could get some of the fixed wings up there to sort of set a line across that area, that would be tremendous. But they are stretched so thin right now.
Yes.
Yeah, they're working on the Palisades fire. They're working on the fire in all over the San Gabriel Valley. And for them to get up there, I'm sure they're working on it. And of course, the spotter planes are moving all across Southern California. But that would be
look at the one structure there you were talking about earlier. Yeah. Where we removed the lower third, so you could see that it's fully engulfed in flames now.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah, a little trivia. The first television antenna actually on Mount Wilson was erected in '47.
Fox is doing better than fucking ABC. Look at this. The whole mountain is
definitely
burning.
A scary situation and worrisome situation for any of the first responders. If they lose any of these repeaters up here, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, first responders have their towers up there. We have our towers up there. I believe a lot of TV stations do as well. It could be a big problem if those towers are impacted for sure.
Definitely, and
the live stream chats on these things are crazy.
And I
it's just people
because
prayer
of the bus
emojis.
clearance in the area.
Look at someone just said Satan wins.
Fucking there's
evil.
also a TFR out here, so we can't just go right up to the repeaters and take a look. It does kind of look like they are. It's not right up to the antennas. Some of them are. Some of it is very, very close. But in this position right there, that fire, that smoke is actually going to be west of those major towers. But as we move a little bit more over here, you can really see it. That smoke coming very, very close to those buildings up there. And where there's smoke, there's fire. So we're going to keep an eye on it for sure, looking to see if we can see any of the fire trucks out here. But these flames definitely made their way to the top of Mount Wilson right now. And this is from the Eaton fire. That started down in the Altadena area.
Oh boy, all right, let's hope that they don't get really any closer to those towers. But thank you for that perspective, Stu. Certainly a situation we're going to be keeping a very close eye on all throughout the day. But meantime, I want to show you this. This is the front page of today's LA Times. Like 1,000 fires. Yeah, I mean, there is no better picture than that. There's no more emblematic picture than that. Just one of absolute terror. You know, across the Southern California, you have at least 5 people dead as a result of these fires. More than 2,000 structures burned, as Stu was showing us, a couple of hours ago. When you see the Pacific Palisades and some 500 homes in one neighborhood just torched. This has been a 48-hour nightmare for Southern California.
And some Uggs and some jeans, and I was like, what do I need? And then it's so for everyone out there, we get it. We know if you're evacuating, if you've had to experience that, it is nerve-wracking, it's stressful, it's overwhelming, and if you are feeling like mentally, like your mental health, if you're struggling with that, don't push it down. Reach out. Talk to your friends, talk to your families. Don't fake that you're not okay. It's a very stressful time.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that throughout the afternoon. Mental health. There's a number that people can call and talk to someone even anonymously. But furthermore, as you just said, start to have that plan of action now while you are not stressed out.
Yes, and not having to figure it out stress.
While you don't have the stress in your life right now, do it while you're sort of calm, cool, and collected. Then when the stress and the anxiety hits you and comes your way, and let's hope it does not, you're able to get out safely with the belongings, the paperwork, the medicines, the pharmaceutical needs that you have without having to scramble and worry if you didn't pack it, if you did pack it. So you get rid of the confusion.
All right, we're gonna move on here, but we're gonna keep our eye on what's going on in Mount Wilson. Again, this is a major communications hub for all of Greater Los Angeles. Again, every radio and television station has a signal coming out of there, as well as a lot of different government agencies. But right now, let's check in with Samantha Cortese in the newsroom. We have some information for us.
Hi, Glenn, Luke. Hi, good morning to you guys. We have some updates on LAUSD, of course, impacting 1,000 schools and 600,000 students and their families as well. We wanted to mention LAUSD has sent a statement saying they are closed tomorrow as well. They say a confluence of factors, wind, fire, smoke. They say it's created an unpredictable, complex situation, making it potentially unsafe for the school communities in the area. Select essential personnel will be contacted by their supervisors regarding potential work duties. The LA region, they say, is responding to this unprecedented crisis, and the health and safety of students and employees are of the utmost importance. And LAUSD acknowledges they know this impacts a lot of families. A lot of parents still have to go to work tomorrow, and they are going to continue their meal distribution for tomorrow. 11 a.m. will be the cutoff. Today, I believe it was 10, so they've extended that by an hour. 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. tomorrow at 16 different sites to provide meals. For information on those 16 specific sites, you can go to LAUSD. They have, for example, Mulholland, Sepulveda, San Fernando, Hollenbeck, Southgate. There's a full list, LAUSD. They will be doing 2 meals, giving away 2 meals per student. LAUSD.org for more information there. And I just wanted to note a few other schools and school districts that have closed. Burbank, Glendale, La Cañada, and Pasadena will be closed for the rest of the week. A few schools did reopen today, Azusa, El Monte, but please keep an eye out on your student's school, because now that this air quality is bad, we're seeing a reflection in school closures. So LAUSD closed tomorrow. Wanted to recommend these evacuation shelters for those still in the path of the Palisades fire. Evacuated residents and families with small animals can go to Westwood Recreation Center. Again, that's open to families and families with small animals. People with animals, I know, have been messaging, wondering, can they take their dog places? Westwood Recreation Center is still accepting families and small animals. Large animals, there's an emergency evacuation center at the Hanson Dam. That's at the Horse Park. Again, Orcas Avenue of the Hanson Dam. Those are some evacuation shelters I wanted to mention. One more thing for the San Fernando Valley. The Hearst fire is still burning, more than 800 acres at this time. Evacuated residents and families with small animals can go to the Richie Valens Recreation Park. That's on Laurel Canyon Boulevard in Pacoima. There's also an evacuation shelter for large animals. It's the same as the one we just spoke about. That's the Hanson Dam Horse Park on Orcas Avenue. So wanted to mention this Hearst fire because it is still burning, 855 acres. It's meeting up with the Saddle Ridge fire burn scar. An evacuation order was sent wirelessly to the mobile phone users in that area. Anyone requiring anyone who is not non-emergency personnel have been asked to leave in the map you're seeing on your screen here. Again, this is for the Hearst fire as of 10 o'clock this morning. Evacuation orders are in effect for north of the 210 from Roxford to the 514 freeway split. Road closures include westbound 210 to the northbound 5. Northbound Sierra Highway is closed from San Fernando Road. Balboa to the north is closed to Rinaldi. Foothill closed to Glen Oaks. Foothill also closed to Balboa Boulevard. So that is the map you're seeing here for the Hearst fire, which is burning in Sylmar. There are 3 zones that are under evacuation order, multiple zones under evacuation warning. I just wanted to mention this because there are so many fires going on. Of course, we're watching the Eaton fire, the Palisades fire, as that moves closer to Topanga. But in the San Fernando Valley, we're seeing a lot of smoke, a lot of ash, and this is the Hearst fire that started a couple days ago in the Sylmar area. It is still burning. Again, 3 zones under evacuation order and multiple zones under evacuation warning. So if you are in the San Fernando Valley, take a look at the westbound 210 to the northbound 5. There are road closures in that area, and I just wanted to emphasize that. And one more thing before I go, red flag parking restrictions are still in effect in LA County, LA City's very high fire hazard severity zones. So that means if you're in an area that has narrow roads, like we've seen in the hills or near fire zones, they're asking you to please park in your driveway or get your car out of that narrow road so emergency responders can get in there. And when they have these red flag parking restrictions, those cars that are still parked can be towed. So we saw what happened in the Palisades when cars were in the way. The earth mover got in there and got those cars out of the way. So red flag parking restrictions are still in effect for a lot of areas in the city. So this is on your screen, the Hearst fire. Just wanted to mention that as we continue to watch Eaton Fire, Palisades, and now what's going on near Mount Wilson as well. Glenn, Luke, hi. When I come back, we're going to talk about ways to help. A lot of people looking for ways to help. Kai, I'm gonna out you here. I heard you on the phone today talking to family, telling them to get resources over to Pasadena Humane Society. They're looking for a lot as far as blankets, crates, leashes, anything for pets. We'll talk more about how to help and free things available for those who've been evacuated and first responders.
That is great, Samantha. Thanks for the important information about the evacuations, but so many people in Southern California, just like Kai, people want to help. And so we'll definitely talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, this fire up in Sylmar, as you can see, there is a reservoir there, which is certainly helped because that's a little bit farther away from any water source, with the exception of that water source right there. So that's good to see that. And, this is like the fire that's not getting as much attention as the Eaton fire, the Palisades fire, but it is a serious problem.
Yeah, it is. And that is unfortunately a target zone for a lot of the Santa Ana winds that come through that area, coming out of the Santa Clarita Valley into Sylmar, San Fernando, all the way into La Cañada, the Sun Valley area. These are areas that do receive a lot of the strong Santa Ana winds. So if you have an evacuation order, if you live up in that Sylmar area and you live in these areas, again, specifically shaded in red that we're showing you, please listen to officials, and if they tell you to leave, you should leave.
Absolutely. All right, by the way, this is the Hearst fire video here we're looking at, and as you can see, those homes there, imminent danger. I'm not quite sure how long ago this.
If anything else happens, then we'll come back to it, but I think it's time to move on to the stream. With the perfect game for today, by the way. Perfect game. Let's see if ABC stops running fucking ads and actually shows news. Hold on.
We had a fire in Malibu. We had a huge fire in Ventura County that took out 200 plus homes in the Camarillo area. We've just had fire after fire after fire, airport fire down in the Irvine area in the San Bernardino Mountains. We've had fires, and we thought 2024 was bad, and then we got into this first month of 2025, and we've never seen anything like it.
And Scott, real quickly before we let you go, I know you've got to do work for KABC as well, but have you been, since you're airborne and you're up and flying around, have you been able to witness any of the water drops? Have you seen any of the aircraft, the helicopters, the planes that have come in, the tankers to help fight these fires from the air?
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of that. I believe there's 8 or 9 helicopters on the Palisades fire. We saw one helicopter turn around on the Eaton fire that I just showed you a moment ago because the winds were too high. And that's really the X factor here is the winds, because one of the reasons the Palisades fire was so destructive is because the winds were so high, they could not continue to fly the helicopters. We had gusts of 80 miles an hour at Burbank Airport. We have limitations on how high the winds can be gusting to start the helicopter. We talked to one of the Chinook pilots, the big helitankers, and they were saying that they just could not be effective, and there was no reason for them to be out there. It wasn't worth the risk.
Yeah.
So many people out there are asking, wondering how they can help you. People are watching this from all over the country, wondering how they can help. How can people help you all right now?
I don't know. Prayers, anything, any help through any of the organizations that are helping with the wildfire relief, Red Cross, just.
What happened? Did it cut off? Shit. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to keep updating throughout the stream, updating about the fires. But meanwhile, let's play this game. I just downloaded it. I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to connect my headset. Let's go. Can you hear me? Hello. Okay. So this game we're playing right now is called Firewatch. Literally, it's called Firewatch. So we're gonna play this game while we wait on updates from the fires. I don't know why the live streaming stopped. I think it stopped. Like literally just cut out. Okay, I think it's back. But we're gonna move on though. Cause right now they're reporting on the fire, but it literally just started, so there's like nothing to report on. But let's play Firewatch. New game. Empty. Keeping updates. Updating. Let's see. I don't want to see how many people are actually playing. Let me see. Where is it? Oh, right here. Oh, decent. Okay. Oh, let me see if I'm not butchering this. Oh shit, hold on. El Signori Vanis 33. Oh my god, I fucking butchered that. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Thank you for the follow. I wonder why it's not working. Usually my alerts would work. No, let me see if okay, let me check my alerts. I'm sorry. Are my alerts on? Yeah, it's on. How dare you! You dumb alerts! Thank you for the follow, thank you. I hope you enjoy the stream. Let me see. This is also... Okay. You see Julia. Alright, who the fuck is Julia? She's about your age, late 20s. I'm not late 20s, fuck you. Laughing with well-dressed professors and grad students from nearby CU Boulder. You and Henry are drinking out with pals. You approach her. You are drunk. Oh god. You don't ever do this if you're drunk, by the way. So what's you major? You slur the word major and it smells like Coors. You give an awkward smile. Evolutionary biology, she says. And I'm a professor. Cool, you reply. What's yours, she asks. Toxicology? That's crazy. Why would she say that to me? Was that a burn, you ask? She says definitely. Worried she hurt your feelings? She asks you if you want to split a cheeseburger. 1 week later, you were Julia's boyfriend. Oh, Riz, see? If you had did the other one, she would have called you creepy. She would have walked away. She probably would have threw a drink at your face, you know? Oh, shit, okay. RT to use objects. Okay. Backpack. Oh, are we like at a job? Oh. Interesting. Okay. I wonder why my alerts aren't working. You date for over a year. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's great. Okay. Oh, I'm not logged into Streamlabs. Fuck you. Let me log back in. I'm sorry. She drives you absolutely nuts. It's crazy. Let me see. Okay, I'm logged in now. I'm logged in. Hopefully it works. Like I said, the Wi-Fi has been weird because of all the wildfires. So if the stream cuts off, I'm sorry in advance. You move in. You share an apartment near the school with a view of the mountains. You two drink beers out on the deck. You drink beer just about anywhere. Life is good. Ooh, cool. Okay. Julia wants to get a dog. kids, they're not very smart or good at much. I'm saying if you and I have a couple of little idiots. Okay, that'll be cool. In that case, we should probably get married. Yeah, I would like that you say. These kids are gonna be screwed up enough. It's probably for the best that their parents are hitched. Why is she so negative? Okay. So this is our truck. What is this? Examine. Oh, put it on. Hold to put on. Why is the hat just in front of the car like that? Okay, I gotta make sure I'm not missing anything. It's just a tire there. Uh-oh. Fire danger today. Okay, let's go. Thoroughfare Trailhead. I butchered that shit. Let's see. Nothing here. Am I supposed to like clean up the oh fuck, okay. It's a Thursday night and Julia is 4 hours late. She doesn't call, you're worried and getting angrier by the minute. She walks in after you've gone to bed. Oh shit. She's not quite as drunk, but she's even having a fun time. You fight when she gets in between the sheets. You get mad or you... No, she's drunk. So if you get mad at her, I don't know if she'll forget. Let's just ignore her for now. You don't touch each other all night. The next day you feel guilty for being so angry and ask her about the evening. She says it was great. You hold on to a tiny pill of resentment. Oh shit. Okay. So he got mad that she was out drinking. Julia still likes to draw. She draws planets from her research. She draws all the places you go. She draws you. You frolic like a Victoria's Secret model, or you pose. Let's do this one. You look awesome. Interesting. Okay, is this like a story game? Are we gonna fight fires? What the hell's happening? Okay, this is literally how it looks outside, by the way. Kind of darker, but like if it was like a shade brighter, this is literally how it looks outside. Is the fire starting or what? Or it just naturally looks like this? 2 forks, fire, look out. Interesting. 1982. During the summers, you and Julia enjoy walking Bucket at night. There's a festival in town. It brings in folks from faraway places. One of them tries to mug you with a knife. Oh, fuck. Bucket gets kicked? Oh, I should have got the big dog. She gets flustered and shows speaking when she is stressed. You confront the attacker. You beat his goddamn face in. Your arm gets cut up and you beat the guy to a pulp. You don't feel very tough. You cry out. What? Julia asked to take a different path from the day before. You said, okay, you don't want to go either way. Oh my god, so if we had picked the bigger dog, we would have been safe. Plans to have kids get waylaid by work? Oh no. Julia gets offered a job at Yale. Yale's in Connecticut, 2000 months away. It's a great job. The associate department chair, she wants to move. Okay, but where do we live? Convince her not to take the job is crazy. You'll ask her if she can commute back and forth. You don't want to move to Connecticut. She says that'll be hard, but she'll do it. You won't have to move. You tell her not to pass it up if that's what she wants. She flees. She flies back. Oh, she agrees, not she flees. Jesus Christ. She flies back to Boulder 3 times each semester. Julia sent home from Yale and paid leave after having an episode. She lost it on a colleague for borrowing books that were important to her research. She didn't remember that she happily loaned it to him 3 days prior. Is Julia crazy? What the fuck is going on? She was found crying in a stairwell. You make macaroni and drink wine and forget about it. You say that you say that maybe you guys should talk to someone about it. Yeah. I've seen multiple doctors and multiple tests. They're worried that Julia might be suffering from early onset dementia. She is 41. What the fuck is going on? 41 and dementia is crazy. What the fuck? Julia, I was about to say, Julia's insane. Uh-oh. Is that what Julia drew of us? Is that how we look? Bucket is getting older. Julia comments on it's kind of nice because he gets in less trouble around the house. A week later, she goes back to the university. Julia's affliction gets worse. She can't remember things in class. Her research is in shambles. She drives her car to the next town over for no particular reason and has to be brought home by the police. She is devastated. She is sent home on permanent medical leave. Oh, this is definitely not America if she got permanent medical leave. Some days you get the Julia who calls you a dope and your unborn children little idiots. Wait. Okay, wait. Okay, so she has dementia. You tell her family your crush began trips home to Australia. She's from Australia. For a while, what the fuck is this game about? You spend your days following Julia around the house. You count the seconds between 2 weekly visits from Daniel the nurse. You just suggest that Julia should live somewhere else, somewhere with 24-hour care at home. You sit. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! This game is not about fire. I thought it was about fire. I would have played Minecraft or some shit. Jesus Christ. Did the choices I'm making give her dementia? What the fuck? We're just walking a path now, okay. Why are we walking so slow over this? Wait, what the fuck's that? Where you going? His family agreed to your decision. You find a fantastic place in Boulder, move her there. You see her over there, then every other day. Then we forget about her because she's 40 with dementia. You go out to the bar with your old friends, it's not the same. You get the feeling that every wife tells her husband, if you ever put me in a home, like Henry did, I'll cut your balls off. You slowly decide not to see your old friends that much. Oh shit. So we shouldn't have put her in a home? Julia's sister Susan moves to Boulder to be close with her. She visits her every day. You go with her some of the time. Susan buys you an old typewriter and urges you to use it if you won't see a therapist. You won't. Of course. You always really like Susan. No! He's moving on with her sister. Months go by, Bucket dies. Jesus Christ. Julie doesn't remember him when you tell her. Oh my god, the dog died. Sometimes you take a minute to lock on you in the back of your mind. You believe it. Seeing her less and less makes her forget you more, you think. Summer's coming, you see a job and paper. This game is depressing as shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, we finally made it to the tower. Jesus. Our life is depressing. Our wife has dementia at 41. Well, she's probably older than that now, but like, Jesus. Huh. Oh my god, don't give me a jump scare, please. What if I just, like, not go in? Okay, nothing happens. Okay, let's see. What's in the door? Is this the door? Turn on the power. Where? Is it this? The light switch don't even work, bro. Radio, old wood stove, cookbook, water jug, a book. Where the fuck is the power at? What? Oh. Oh.
Hello, Two Forks Tower.
What's up? Oh, this is our job. Oh.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in
So, what's wrong
Toronto
with you?
City?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
Damn, why are you all up in my business?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine, then can I sleep forever?
Jesus.
Sure, buddy. Okay, now go ahead.
You've killed 3 ex-husbands. You were rebelling against mom. Nobody can stand you.
Okay, you're probably out here because nobody back home can stand you, which, after this brief introduction, is not a big shock.
Ouch. I'll chalk that up to you being tired and grumpy.
Nah,
Better
you're
get
just
some
annoying.
sleep, then.
One sec. Now it's my turn.
Okay, good night, bye.
Let's see. I don't know anything about you, but 9 times out of 10, folks out here simply got dumped.
What?
Huh, is that it?
Close?
Good night.
Good night. Welcome to the job.
Dude, what was that whole fucking story? Did she get dementia every other timeline, or I just got the fucking badass timeline?
Good morning, Henry. Well, I guess good afternoon. You probably slept like a rock. Anyway, there's still a few hours of daylight to get some work in. I can see you at your desk, so call me when you're ready.
Hey, sorry, guess I slept in.
You got a relaxing, what, 14 hours of sleep? Whew.
Is this a house?
Jesus, I guess it's what, 6?
6:45.
Whoops.
Don't worry about it. That hike puts everyone out of commission for a day or two. But now that you're up, let me quickly get you acquainted with the job. There's a thing in the middle of your room with a round map on it. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
This is the Osborne Firefinder, invented in 1914 by W.B.
Osborne?
You use this to spot, you guessed it, What the fuck?
What is it?
Nothing. You use this to... Oh, fuck me!
Good God, language, lady.
Out your west-facing window. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
West-facing? Where?
Are those fucking fireworks?
Where? Where's west? Is this west? Oh, I see it.
Whoa, that's not legal, right?
No. You need to get down there right now and stop them. Fire danger is through the fucking roof.
Is that really my job?
Your job is whatever I say it is. Look, the closest ranger is like 2 days away. Go down there and set him straight.
Oh. Oh, you want to order me?
Like, kick the shit out of him sort of straight?
No. Jesus, no.
What? I'm not a cop. It's not like I've got a rule book over here.
Just make sure they don't do it again. Take their shit.
All right, fine.
Don't feed anyone a knuckle sandwich.
We're gonna go beat up some kids.
You probably need a rope to get down the shale between you and the lake, if I remember right.
A rope?
There should be one in the supply box on the way. The code is 1234.
Of course it is.
It's actually that for all of them.
Of course it is. Affirmative.
Convenient.
That's one word for it.
Photo with Julia. Where? That's a desk lamp. Where's the Julia? Where is it? Is it this? Can't even see her fucking face. Alright, let's go. I can't. Let me get my bag. I can't even get my bag. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well. Let's go. Interesting. Can I run? Run, bitch, run! Beat the map. Okay. I have to go west, which is, where's west? I have a compass in my map. I think this is west. Gotta go this way. Right? Yeah. Oh God. Let's see here. That's just lower map. even jump down. Interesting. Is there a trail? Where am I? Maybe I should just follow the trail. Yeah, let's just follow the trail. Where the fuck are we? Let's follow the trail. Is this a trail? Guys, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Yes, this should be the trail. I think. Oh, yeah, okay. This little dirt path right here. This game's so quiet. Where's the box, though? It should be somewhere near here. Is that it? Hey. One, 2, 3, 4. Old rope. And then granola bar, sure. I don't want to eat it. Let's just keep it in our hands for now. I think it's over here. I think I might have to eat it. Okay. We are right there. But who's setting off the fireworks? Where are we going? We just keep going west? I hear it. I think it's this way. Behind this mountain, I hear it. Do-do-do-do-do. The fuck? Okay. Rope hook. What is that? That's dangerous. Doing this alone? Why are there no stairs? There should have been stairs here. Oh shit. Fuck. Oh my god. He just fell like 10 feet. See, I told you it was dangerous with no one around. Report climbing accident. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? Oh.
Hey.
What the hell's wrong with you?
My rope snapped coming down the shale slide.
You didn't break anything, did you?
No, I think I'll make it.
Well, be careful for Christ's sake.
We literally fell so far. What do you mean nothing happened? We could have broke our back. Okay. The fireworks stopped, by the way. Oh, we just report everything we see?
I'm staring at the big outcropping down here, but I'm not quite sure where to look for our pyrotechnicians.
Maybe keep heading west toward the lake.
Affirmative.
It is a hell of a nice camping spot down here by the lake.
I haven't been down there in years, but yeah, Jonesy Lake area is perfect.
One more. Someone was here.
Oh, look, they decided to have a campfire, too.
You know, they color-coded the fire danger signs in case people were illiterate. But I guess that doesn't take into account just plain stupid, does it?
Confiscate. What if I drop it on the fire? Will it do anything? Aw, man. Okay. Two pairs of clothes.
Well, they left their clothes out to dry. It looks like 2 people. What if they're naked?
Ew.
That'd be exciting. Look,
there's a bra here.
There, so tell them off and then head back.
I found a bra.
A nudie pyromaniac. Remain professional.
There are panties.
There are what?
I don't want to say that word again.
Why? 'Cause you're 12?
I hear music.
There's a... Oh.
Yes?
There are 2 naked ladies out here.
Can you handle that?
Come on.
2
I
naked
like
women.
ladies, same as anyone, but there's, you know...
2?
Yeah.
I know this will be tough for you, but try to pick your tongue up off the ground and do your job.
Okay. I found them in the lake.
Skinny dipping.
Yeah.
Is that a guy over there? Oh boy. Enjoy dealing with that.
Oh man.
You gotta take it easy with the fireworks.
Hey, where's he going? Oh, hey, did you mess with any of our stuff? I don't like this. Can we go? Shit! Let's go to the other side of the line. Later, Skeezer. We're gonna tell everyone there's a perv out here.
What the fuck? You dumb bitches. Find a way back to Forks. I have to go back? How am I supposed to do that?
Hey, that go okay?
How do I reply? Jesus Christ.
I hope they drown.
Yow.
I don't think anyone would mourn a couple of future arsonists.
Just gonna go ahead and not log that as a threat.
Thanks.
But seriously though, thanks for dealing with it.
Jonesy Lake.
Any chance of those kids getting a disease in this lake, like diphtheria or consumption or...
Consumption? Not if they're not 19th century chimney sweeps, no.
You know, whatever.
I mean, if they drank a bunch, Giardia maybe, but probably not this time of year.
Well, that's too bad. So they just left their stuff down here, but it would be a bad idea for me to toss it all in the lake, right?
Yes, I don't think that'd be wise. If you could refrain from criminal destruction of personal property while on this job, that'd be great, okay?
Right. Whoops.
Can't climb? Interesting. I kind of want to check back on the wildfires and see how everything's going. Let me see.
And be current with our policy and all that stuff way before this ever happened. But it happened.
Pat, you mentioned your sons. You know, one thing I've been thinking about these last couple of days are the kids. You know, adults, we can handle this stuff sometimes just in our own way, but the kids, I know they don't look super young. They maybe teenagers. But how are they holding up, first of all, and how are you guys having discussions around it as a family?
Well, we've always been a very tight-knit family, and the kids are identical to both Anna and I in terms of, the way we act and, our thought processes and this and that. So they are completely on board with it. 3 of them are adults, in their 20s, and then Patrick is, almost 18. But, they understand everything. They're not fearful. They know that we will pull together as a unit and prevail.
Are you, you mentioned you expect maybe a bit of a fight with your insurance company. You said you couldn't imagine living there again. But I mean, so it's kind of conflicting message. Do you want to rebuild and do you plan to rebuild?
Yes, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Did your youngest son go to school in the area?
All of the kids did. Yes. They went to, the furthest they went was USC, or.
But the 17-year-old's not at the high school. Didn't the Palisades High burned? Is that where he was? Was he going there?
He did not, no.
Okay. Yeah, because that, I'm not clear. We had heard for a while, a couple of days ago, but everything was so chaotic that the high school was on fire at one point.
Yeah, it was. I saw it yesterday. And, they just let it burn. I didn't really see anybody really trying to, put it out.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there were a lot of problems with, water running out for the firefighters, and because of the wind, they couldn't fight the fire from the sky. So it was a tough situation. It's basically just trying to get everybody out safe, like you and your family.
Correct.
Yeah.
Pat, thank you so much for sharing your story and honest story and your kids, and we're sorry for your loss and your neighbor's loss, and hopefully you guys can figure everything out, and we're just going to have to all hold hands through all this.
Yes, we will, and we'll be fine, and I really appreciate it, and it's my pleasure to speak with you guys, and I think we're all going to be okay.
This is where I felt before?
All right.
Thank
you. All right, Pat Ashby, appreciate your time, and best of luck to you and your family.
The winds have lied down a little bit, but Chip's going to talk about that in the San Gabriel Valley as well.
Yeah, let's go to Chip. Chip?
Okay, so I have to go this way.
Yeah, hey there, guys. We're back here on Altapine Drive, and when we got here, we noticed there were some deputies here. We had heard a report that somebody had possibly lost their life on this street. Unfortunately, it's been confirmed. I'm going to talk to Kamiko Nickerson. This was your family home.
Oh, I had to go all the way around.
And it was your father, you said. You lost him during the fire.
Yes, my dad, Rodney Nickerson, he passed away in his bed.
I have to go back to where this was.
Tell me what happened. You said you had someone come check on him because you hadn't heard from him.
Yeah, my son had been here. I had actually heard from him all day, and my son had been here with him and all my neighbors, and he was gathering some things, packing up his car a bit, and he said that he was going to gather up his stuff, but he said he was going to stay here too. He said that he felt this was going to pass over and that he would be here, and he did position himself, but he didn't want to leave.
82 years old. Tell us a little bit about him.
82 years old. He bought this house in 1968, and he put $5 down on the house. Is what he told me. And he came right back with his paperwork from Lockheed Martin, which is where he retired from in Palmdale. He's been there for 45 plus years, and he's been an Altadenian as long as I've been living. My whole life, I came here home as a child. I was born at Kaiser Permanente in Sunset, and they brought me here to this house, and I've been here my whole life with him.
Do you happen to have a picture of my phone? Might be able to pull up fairly quickly. Oh, your phone's in the car. Yeah, that's okay. And it tells you when when the fire was going on, or so you're trying to call them, trying to contact them.
The phone. Well, for a while, like I said, I was talking with him, and he was like, "I'll be here, Kim. I'm gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be cool," is what he said. And at about 11 p.m. all the way until the next day at 3, his phone just kept going to voicemail first and then no voicemail. The house phone, the landline, nor his cell phone, they weren't doing anything. They weren't allowing voice messages or anything, just a blank, and then would go to dun-dun, like it was just dead, the phone.
And tell me about, obviously you grew up here, the memories, how hard was it to come and see this?
Of course you would.
It was very hard. He put that pool in the backyard. It wasn't there. It was just all grass. And It's
I knew
just
she was.
devastating to see that it's down to the ground.
She was asking
And it
so
was
much
even more
questions.
devastating. I knew he was there, but to see him there was another thing. And he's there. He's still there.
And you said your son was here with them?
Yeah, my son Chase was here, and he tried to convince him to leave with him. And Chase gathered his stuff and stayed with him as long as he could. And then the breathing situation became pretty bad. They both had their mask on, and he was like, "Chase, I'll be here. Papa, I'll be here when you come back."
He was convinced it wasn't going to be that bad.
He was convinced it wasn't. So were we.
What are you guys' next steps? Do you even have you even had time to consider with all this?
Well, the next steps, the places we did try to go, the post office, everything in Altadena and Pasadena, the post offices are all closed, the banks are all closed. They have signs on the doors saying because of the Eden Canyon fire
Are they all just 1, 2, 3,
that they're
4?
closed right now. So any business you try to do, you can't do because everything is closed
Oh, I need the
for now.
flashlight.
Yeah, tell us your dad's name one more time, and your fun. What's your favorite
And
memory? Your
it's
best memory?
His name is Rodney Kit Nickerson, and just his humor. Like how he said, everything's going to be cool. I'll be here when you come back. Just his confidence and his humor.
That's what he told your son. He was just.
Everything will be cool, and I'll be here when you guys come back.
It's a horn.
I'm so sorry for your loss, but thanks for talking to us, and best of luck with what happens next. Yes, unfortunately, like I said, we did hear yesterday that there were 5 deaths. We don't know if that number's going to grow, if this was one of them that they were talking about, but unfortunately for this family, that's something they're going to have to deal with going forward. For now, reporting live here in Altadena, I'm Chip Yost, KTLA 5 News.
All right, thank you, Chip. Again, you're looking live at Mount Wilson. There's that one building,
outbuilding there, yeah.
Outbuilding that's obviously a total loss at this point, but really that seems to be the only problem up there, which is good.
Yeah, well, it looks like, and this has been what we've been seeing actually, that the fire has sort of skipped around a little bit, if you will, and sort of moved horizontally rather than vertically. And that's been fortunate for this Mount Wilson area in terms of all the transmitters that are up there. It looks like it just sort of stayed right there below, and it's continuing to move in a bit of an easterly direction above cities like Sierra Madre, Duarte, of course Altadena as well. And that outhouse is a complete and total loss. You're just seeing the remnants of that burn right now, and of course a great deal of smoke.
Yeah, smoke going straight up, that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's switch over to Kimberly. Kimberly's in the Palisades. Hi, Kimberly.
Lou Glenn, hi. We're in this neighborhood which residents refer to as the ABC streets. This is Chautauqua Boulevard near Carey Street. What we've been noticing is people have been coming up here to sift through the rubble. This group right here, they're doing just that. The homeowner did not want to talk on camera, which is understandable, but they are trying to go through, look for some of their things, salvage what they can. If we pan around, you can see just up the street here, some of the other homes that have been burned to the ground here. Just in this area, we can see several houses destroyed. But when we turn around, you will notice that there are a few homes that are still standing. Just a short while ago, there was a couple that was down the street here. They came and spoke with me. They said that they went to their property. They walked up here from Santa Monica on foot because they had to see it for themselves. They were sifting through the rubble, trying to just find any recognizable items, but they said everything was gone. And it was really just part of that process of acceptance for them. They just wanted to see it for themselves. The size of the Palisades fire is now at more than 17,000 acres, and although it could be some time before an assessment is done, officials said today that thousands of homes or properties were destroyed. Containment is at 0. And you can really feel the difference in the wind conditions today. They were expected to subside, and this will allow firefighters the opportunity to increase those containment lines. However, the wind is dynamic. The threat is not over. Now, earlier we did see some firefighting planes going over this neighborhood every few minutes. We didn't see them doing water drops here in this neighborhood, but they were going back and forth multiple times. Now, people remain under evacuation orders in this neighborhood. It is quiet up here, mostly fire crews, law enforcement, and media. There are road closures and checkpoints coming up here. However, we have seen some people up here, as I mentioned, on foot or bicycle. Earlier I spoke with Judy Amos, who owns a property here that did not make it through the fire. She, like many others, walked in from Santa Monica.
What can I do for you?
Well, my typewriter is on the ground.
It's sort of mind-boggling and numbing, and it's like what you see on TV, and now you're in the middle of it.
It's really just tragic.
That guy is fucking with us.
Seeing all my friends' places, the memories that we have there.
And ransack my shit. Look at that.
Friends, when I get service, friends are texting me, like, can you check on my house? And I'm trying to, but it's, there's a lot of damage around, so it's hard to get around. But it's just really gut-wrenching. Feels like the world is stopping right now.
And that gentleman I just spoke with there, he said that his family's home was under construction. So fortunately for them, they had moved all of their possessions into storage, and that part was burned down, but they had an ADU in the back which survived the fire. So he's grateful for that. But again, he's going through the neighborhood and seeing his friend's home, his childhood friend's home, burned to the ground, sending back those pictures to his friend. And he just said it's just devastating. There's a loss of words here. And what I can tell you is that we have seen a lot of law enforcement today patrolling the area. Yesterday I did speak with the LA County District Attorney, Nathan Hochman. He was here because his sister's house burned down. He told me that there is going to be law enforcement here from outside of our area. Patrol is being beefed up to prevent looters, burglars, and scammers. Earlier today, city and county leaders gave an update. Take a listen.
List of everyone who's officially been in and out of the trailhead since, I don't know, forever, and see if we can get a list.
What were they looking for?
We won't get much, but at least
in the midst of the emergency, we've all seen individuals who are targeting vulnerable communities by burglarizing and looting homes. This is simply unacceptable. Shame on those who are preying on our residents during this time of crisis. The emergency order will be strictly enforced by the Sheriff's Department, who are proactively patrolling to protect these communities from looting and any criminal activity.
If you want to go ahead and loot, if you want to commit burglary, if you want to
to
engage in grand theft, if you want to engage in these internet scams where you're going to take advantage of people who are going to be seeking insurance and government benefits, you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, and you will be punished to the full extent of the law.
And they were saying at that news conference that already 20 people have been arrested for crimes. Again, they are saying for people to avoid this area and that they will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law for anyone who's committing crimes here. Again, back here live, you can just see behind us what we've been showing you throughout the day, just the devastation here. We took a drive around since yesterday. This is not too far from the village. We did notice that a lot of the retail stores, I noticed the Ralphs, what looked like the Gelsons, the Chase Bank there, had been destroyed. Reporting live here in Pacific Palisades, I'm Kimberly Chang. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Kimberly. That, of course, the same neighborhood that Pat Ashby lived in and his family, the Alphabet Streets, and he was talking about the devastation, and then Kimberly in the same neighborhood, so you can actually see firsthand what he was talking about.
And go ahead.
No, I was just going to remark really quickly. First, you can see the smoke, not just here in the Santa Monica Palisades area, but all across Southern California. So, folks, please be careful today. There is, of course, an air quality alert for all of Southern California through the rest of the day today. Of course, extremely dangerous conditions out there. If you have a mask, any kind of a respirator, I highly suggest you keep it handy. Use it if you have to go out today. Even a mask, a light mask, is better than nothing.
Switch back to
Wi-Fi, if you can stay in your home, maybe run the recycled air in your house or something that's a good way to sort of help your lungs today. And I just took 2 aspirin because the headaches are coming fast and furious. Asthma, those of us who do suffer with respiratory issues, this is going to be a big issue today as well. And fortunately, as you can see, the winds taking a little bit of a break here and there, but I have to reiterate, we're not done with these Santa Ana winds. They're still going to be sporadic. We're still going to see gusts here and there, off and on in the 25, 30 mile per hour range. This includes Riverside, San Bernardino, Orange counties. I know we, of course, haven't been focusing on those 3 counties in particular because, fortunately, they have not had fire issues down there. But again, those are our neighbors and friends, and we still want you to be safe. And the winds are definitely down there in Orange County, Riverside, and San Bernardino County this afternoon as well. So again, stay safe, everybody. Please be careful.
You know, Kai, we had spoken just a little while ago about LA Sheriff's Department mentioning that we know that 5 people have died in the Eaton fire, and they had mentioned that there are multiple deaths from the Palisades fire and the Eaton fire. And basically, they can't give us a number because they're still assessing it. The problem is the homicide detectives and officials are having a hard time fully assessing situations due to, as you can imagine, access to these properties because of down power lines and hot spots and wires. And so we are monitoring that, and we'll bring you any additional information like once that comes in. But it's something that we suspected, even like when Chip was speaking with that woman who her dad died, you know, he stayed back. But there are stories like that all over Southern California and LA County because people did stay back. And even if they didn't stay back, they may have been trapped or, as you mentioned, Kai, elderly and in a wheelchair and didn't have family to help them get out, or stayed too late, or whatever the situation was. So unfortunately, we don't want to report that information eventually, but unfortunately, that's probably those numbers are gonna rise.
Yeah, the woman that Chip was talking to, her dad, Rodney Nickerson, was 82 years old, didn't want to leave, and you know, at his age, if it came to the time where he didn't have a choice, he was not going to be able to get out.
And again, I'm going to go back to Altadena. That's a great story she told. He was at Lockheed Martin his whole career. He retired. He put $5 down on that house in the 1950s.
That's awesome.
Raised a family. Generations grew up there in that neighborhood. And he's not the only one. There's everybody in that neighborhood has a similar story. And there's a lot of folks who live in Altadena who work for the city of Pasadena, the city of Altadena. There's great folks out there. And, you know, our hearts go out to their loss and that community there in the San Gabriel Valley.
All right, right now, let's get back to Rich Prickett in Sky 5. And I got to tell you, Rich, this view you're giving us, the contrast between looking at Santa Monica and looking at the Palisades, I mean, it's literally like night and day.
Yeah, PCH is certainly not going to look the same for years to come here, unfortunately. As you drive through the Pacific Palisades, the fire burning right up to Pacific Coast Highway, and just up above Pacific Coast Highway is what is left of many homes, many communities here in the Pacific Palisades. Here's just one area here right along PCH. There's Temescal Canyon Road. Right there, that intersection there, Pacific Coast Highway and Temescal Canyon. Now we'll pan up here into more into the city of Pacific Palisades, and here's another neighborhood that has been completely decimated. Just about every home has been either leveled or has some sort of damage to it. This neighborhood essentially is just going to be uninhabitable for a long time. And we'll keep doing a tour here through the city. There's the high school. That's going to be Pacific the Palisades Charter High School. We didn't see a whole lot of damage to the high school itself. I know that was something that people were concerned about while the fire was making its way through here. That section seems to be okay. We'll make our way over towards the downtown area where a lot of the commerce is here in downtown. That's going to be Sunset and Via de la Paz, and the gas station there has been destroyed. Some homes up above the gas station. Of course, the Gelson's, as we had mentioned, is right here. That is completely gutted. You just see about 3/4 of the wall that remains. Other than that, it has been completely destroyed. And this is just in the central portion of Pacific Palisades. Sunset Boulevard, as many of us know, run right down the center. It's where a lot of the shops are. But there's also homes. and that's what we're seeing here, and just both sides of Sunset Boulevard completely destroyed. Everywhere you look here, essentially between
I just pressed that and it found a match.
Temescal Canyon, all the way towards Palisades Road. I mean, majority of that is seeing damaged home or just completely destroyed homes. There's more homes that we can't even see because of the flight restriction and the smoke. So what we're seeing here is just the majority of what has been destroyed, but there's still more we still have not seen. We still haven't seen what has happened up along Palisades Road, other sections of PCH. There's sections of, there's structures over by the Getty Villa that have been completely destroyed. So both sides of Palisades Road, which is where that fire originally started, have been destroyed. But overall, everything you're seeing here is in the flatlands of Pacific Palisades below the hill. So when that fire started up above, all the ambercast, everything just started pouring down into the city, and there was really nothing you could do with those high winds. Unfortunately, this is a live view of Pacific Palisades. We'll stay overhead. We'll continue to give you these live images. But for now, I'm Rich Prickett in Sky 5, and I'll send it back to you, Hollywood.
Thank you, Rich. Again, quite a contrast from the Palisades going down to the lower part of the picture where Santa Monica starts, where, you know, there was an evacuation in Santa Monica, but I guess fortunately they dodged the bullet.
Yeah, from Chautauqua, also West Channel, to the west of there is Santa Monica, and that's pretty much the line of demarcation, if you will. Everything off to the west of there, the east rather, of those streets that I just named, that's safe into Santa Monica, but then to the west, and that's what we're looking at. It's just devastation. And you know, what's terrible too is some of the structures, the homes that are still standing, their gas is off, their water's been shut down. It's probably very dangerous. There's lots of chemicals in the atmosphere. The water has been compromised. Even in my neighborhood in the San Gabriel Valley in Pasadena, they told us to not drink the water because a lot of the filtration systems in these areas have been compromised. So the water is not safe to drink. That's something we haven't heard here in the Pacific Palisades, but that could be happening because of, again, the devastation. Everything turned off, water. You can see some of the electric companies, some of the service folks that are out there trying to make sure that the lines are safe now and maybe de-energized because there's still winds out there. And if those power lines are swaying and swinging, and if they hold that energy, there's still opportunities for, more disaster to happen. So of course we're hoping that they're de-energizing those lines. And you can still see hot spots down there in some of the bowls, some of the canyons. There's some smoke right there in the center of your screen. So there's still a lot of hot spots. It's just so dangerous. And with all that debris, again, this is another reason to stay out of these areas, folks, because there's nails, there's sharp objects everywhere.
Down power lines.
There's down power lines, there's concrete, things that are still falling, things that are not propped up properly that could fall on you and kill you in a second. So these are just very dangerous neighborhoods to be in. Only experts, only officials should be in these areas. And even if you are or a resident of these areas, please call ahead, try and speak to somebody who can give you information on how to safely navigate through a lot of these neighborhoods.
Yeah, I know another big problem is like natural gas still, burning in a lot of these houses, and you got to somehow get in there and turn that off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be. I think a gas company at some point they could maybe turn off a major central valve.
They can.
And cut it down.
Yeah, and also yesterday, I mean, Glenn Lee, we heard how many propane tanks did we hear explode?
On live TV.
On live TV. There are everybody's got a barbecue in their backyard, and whether the propane tanks have popped off already or whether they're still there and have not popped off, that's a dangerous thing to be around as well.
Hi, you had talked about these winds and the gust, and we saw them destroy so many lives and homes. It's also happening in San Bernardino Mountains apparently now, and so those winds can happen there as well.
Well, yeah, that's what Henry spoke about this morning. I've been talking to everybody. The fact that the energy is shifting a little bit more to Riverside, San Bernardino, and Orange County, and I think we can have Shelby explain that a little
Yeah,
bit.
Shelby Nelson is actually up there experiencing those winds. Shelby?
Hi there. Yeah, and as you both said, or as all three of you said, we're diverting our coverage from the west just for a second because we want to kind of show you what it looks like up here in the San Bernardino Mountains. Remember, parts of these areas are still under a red flag warning and a high wind warning. And the reason that we're at this gas station right here in Twin Peaks, this Shell, I mean, you can see how many cars are coming out here. Apparently, a lot of the mountain areas do not have power right now. Wind gusts are pretty strong. Right now, it seems a little bit calm, but on the way up here, those winds were pretty strong. I mean, you had to have a firm grip on the steering wheel in order to, drive safely up here. But you see this group of people. I think this is the first time I'm seeing that there's not a line out there of people waiting to get gas, but that's been the case all morning. Greg, I wanted to come over to you. This is your dad, right, Pete? Hi, you guys. So you guys are the owners of this gas station. I mean, tell me about what's going on this morning, because you guys have had so many customers up here, and it's because of the power outages, because of the wind. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we started our morning off very, very weird. We started off no power in the store. We didn't realize anything until we came in for our morning shift. And we had our employee check some of the inside equipment. We went into the back and started our diesel generator to get our pumps going at least. And we found out later on that most of the rest of the mountain didn't have fuel. So we sent out a notice on Instagram, Facebook to let people know. And we've been busy nonstop since 7 in the morning, nonstop.
And so a lot of, most of the gas stations you're saying don't have gas right now because there's hardly any power?
There's no plan at all. No plan.
They don't either have generators. Some of the generators today, from what I've been hearing, have been faulty. They haven't been working. So people are just having a hard time today.
And this has really been a coordinated effort with you guys, because I see you guys kind of mitigating traffic out here. There's been so many people lining up. I mean, it was backed up along that street when we were arriving here. And people have been posting it on social media too, saying that this is the only location where they can get gas right now. And this is where they're coming. I mean, for you guys, what has that effort looked like?
It's just helping the community, get them moving so nobody,
I mean, we're a tight-knit community. We don't have a lot of space. So if we're not out here directing traffic or helping people out, there's a lot more trouble that comes out of it. So right now people are happy that we're out here trying to help everybody out. So it's been a team effort since the morning, nonstop. It's been cold, but we're trying to push through.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And I'm sure a lot of the community members up here appreciate that too. I'm going to head past you guys and see if maybe there's someone who might want to talk to us who's filling up on gas. Hi, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I see that you're getting gas right now. I mean, what has this morning/afternoon looked like for you? What prompted you to come here?
I just, like normal, every day I needed some fuel, so.
And do you live up here in the mountains?
Yeah, I've been here since 1990.
And did you know that this was probably the only gas station that had gas right now?
Yeah. I just deal with it. We live in the mountains and the power goes out. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of part of living up here. I've been through it before.
And I assume that you don't have power at your own home?
No, we have a generator to run the essentials, but I haven't even fired it up because sometimes it's just nice to not have your electronics.
It seems like a lot of mountain folks kind of know how to deal with this because you guys had Snowmageddon just a couple years ago, and then power outages don't seem that crazy. However, we do have a red flag warning right now, high wind warning. Is there any way you approach things like this when you've got these crazy winds?
Yeah, we have diesel for my work trucks and gas for my wife's cars. We have fire hoses and stuff at our house. Bring out through the property to make sure that we can use stuff.
I don't know how they got me. I think someone went behind though.
Food, we always have food and water. We just try and
we got it.
not stress out about it. And I think the more that you can be prepared, the less stress you'll be, because anything can happen. And right now, there might be a lot of people complaining that the power is shut off. One of the things people don't think about a lot is there's a lot of resources being used up right now west of here. So to me, it's good to take the extra precaution to shut the power off, because if something starts on the north side of the mountain right now with the wind blowing south, we may or may not have the resources we would have if those other fires weren't already going. So it could be frustrating for some people that aren't used to it or not prepared, but I think it's the right decision.
Sir, what's your name?
Wesley.
Wesley, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and good luck with getting your gas. And it seems like you've got everything handled. So, all right, thanks, Wesley. Appreciate it. You too. All right, guys. So, yeah, you're seeing the situation out here. Several vehicles. So there's one backing into here. So we'll get out of their way.
Really good at
but if we come over here, I just want to show you. So for a second, we saw a lull in the line, and then here again, we've got another line of cars waiting to get their gas. I have reached out to SoCal Edison. I'm waiting to get a response from them. What they did say right now is that in Lake Arrowhead, they don't have power, and that's not because of a public safety power shutoff, but it's because of wind damage to some of their equipment. So if people don't have power up here, it could be a number of things. It could be wind damage to equipment, or it could be because of a public safety power shutoff. And you know, as you heard from Wesley right now, I think some people are kind of understanding why those public safety power shutoffs are so important, because if there were a fire to break out, I mean, resources could be stretched thin. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Shelby, thank you so much for that information.
I barely did anything.
All right, joining us out via Zoom is Annette Ramirez. She's the interim general manager of LA Animal Services. Can you hear us okay?
Seven?
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
So what is the status right now of the shelters since these fires started at the beginning of the week?
So we've actually, the largest impact that we've had has been with equines. So we've taken
Are you anxious?
horses in between both Hampton Dam and LA Equestrian Center. We have taken a number of animals, small pets, dogs and cats, at our other shelters, and then we are support to evacuation centers so that evacuees can be co-housed with their pets.
I just saw a post a little while ago that you guys are in desperate need of adoptees and fosters.
Yes, we absolutely need Angelinos who are not in the evacuation zones, who are able to foster, to come in and foster. And if anyone has been considering adoption, right now is the perfect time to adopt. We absolutely need to make sure that we have the space in our facilities for the incoming animals as we continue to see this event unfolding over the next few days. We don't think that it's going to end, anytime soon. So we want to make sure that we are ready and prepared to take on those animals that need to be in the shelter.
All right. Fortunately, not everybody's going to have to take their animals to a shelter. So what are some of the emergency preparedness tips you can give people to keep their pets safe at home?
Yeah, so especially right now with the air quality, if you could bring your pet indoors, you absolutely should, especially with the winds. You need to make sure that any fencing is secure if you're letting your dog outside. We're seeing a lot of fences being are wearing good identification tags. If you have a dog, that you have a license tag on your dog. And for dogs, cats, rabbits, and even horses, make sure that they are microchipped and that you update your contact information with the microchip company to ensure that they have your current name, address, phone number, and email address. You should also prepare an emergency kit or a go bag for your pet, just like you would for your family members. Make sure you have a crate, litter, food, water, bowls, toys, medication, and especially vet records, and have a plan for your pet. So if you can think of a friend or a neighbor not within the immediate area that may be able to take you in with your pet, make sure that you have that lined up ahead of the any evacuation orders that are issued.
Annette, those are great tips. I have a large dog, and what I've noticed in the last couple of days, they feel our anxiety, and mine's terrified of the winds. Also, he seems to be drinking more water, so it's just be attuned to their stress as well, and maybe keep them in a separate room or quieted down, almost like when fireworks are happening during July 4th, I would assume. But more importantly, let's talk about the evacuation centers that are accepting pets and those large animals.
Yeah, so the evacuation centers that are accepting pets right now are the Westwood Rec Center, which is servicing the Palisades Fire, and the Richie Valens Recreation Center, which is servicing the Hearst Fire evacuation area. And then for large animals, we have actually maxed out the number of horses that we can take at the LA Equestrian Center. So all large animals are now being diverted to Hanson Dam.
All right, of course, you are LA Animal Service. You're providing supplies like bowls, pet food, blankets. Obviously, you need some help with that. If somebody wants to make a donation, what should they do?
Yeah, so donations can be made at any of our 6 shelters. We are accepting blankets, crates, food, bowls. Food, we do ask that they are unopened packaged food. And then people can also donate online via our website. Mailing in a check to LA Animal Services, and you could actually earmark your donation to be for emergency operations. So it's to provide supplies in the event of an emergency.
And that website is laanimalservices.com, and also they have great information on their social media channels as well. But laanimalservices.com has the locations of all 6 city shelters and also places that you can donate, foster, and adopt. I know you guys are overwhelmed aside from a natural disaster like this, so I can't imagine how overwhelming it is right now for you. And just pleading to folks, if you have space in your home and you're not in the affected areas, fostering an animal 100% will save lives. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and when we get back to normal life, we of course have our segment every Thursday at 1 o'clock for our Pet of the Week. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Okay, while we were conducting the interview, I just couldn't believe, we kept from Sky 5 showing the coast here. This is that famous area where you've got all of these beach houses that are on PCH. They straddle that strip of land between PCH and the ocean. And
that is Topanga Canyon.
That's unbelievable.
At the top of your screen, we all know this area quite well. And we all know the Real Inn that was right there. That is gone. And once you head to the beach side, well, Glenn and Lou, we can see what happened. I actually saw a video that a couple of young kids posted last night. They drove north from Topanga into Malibu during the fire. And it looks to me like what happened is right around this area, the fire hit one of the homes, and then the windstorm took that fire and just drove it all the way to Malibu.
Yeah, tornado.
And you see that one structure, that house is still there, and
it's concrete.
The ones all around them are gone.
Well, those are all very old. Most of these houses, they're bungalows, they're little beach cabanas and houses, and they were built in the 50s and 60s, and they were built of wood, and these were just sanctuaries for so many people who would go out to the coast. It started as that, where you'd go to the beach on the weekend and you'd have your little beach house. And then the further up you go, you get closer into Malibu, you get to Moon Shadows, that's gone. You get up towards Dukes. Fortunately, Dukes a little bit further to the south, but Dukes is there. We've heard reports that it might have been damaged, but it's still standing.
Mastro's still standing.
Yep, and then you keep going north and you get in towards Billionaires Beach. That's the area where there's huge properties. Some of those were destroyed as well. So this fire does not pick and choose. There's no way.
And I'm hoping that everyone who were in these homes, I hope that they had evacuated in time.
Yeah, and one quick last point, a lot of the water that they used to try to get these houses put out, these flames put out, and a lot of the materials are now in the ocean.
Yeah, I was thinking that because, there's so many surfers, including you, that are going to want to get in the water eventually, but...
Yeah, my friends who surf and who love to go in the ocean, please do not do that right now. There's a lot of debris, there's hazardous waste and material that's in this water right now, and a lot of the water is making its way towards Santa Monica proper. It's a little bit of a small west swell, but the current will take a lot of the debris towards Santa Monica, towards Will Rogers Beach, some of those areas, and just in general, just please be careful of the logs, the debris in the water. It's very, very dangerous.
All right, right now let's check in with Corrine Winter. She is at one of the evacuation centers set up in Westwood. Corrine?
And it's been extremely busy here at the Westwood Recreation Center all day long. This is where those who've been displaced by the Pacific Palisades fire, those who've lost absolutely everything, have been coming. More than 250 individuals now inside. Let's show you some video to capture the scene, what's going on here. It's not just those in need of assistance who've been arriving here, but community members who've been so generous, and they're bringing anything that they can, everything from food to water to clothing. They say they want to do their part to help. The American Red Cross and the Salvation Army also here on scene, and they've just been doing tremendous work. And what's important, they wanted us to point out, I know you heard from representatives earlier, it's not just items that are being donated, it's not just beds that are being provided to those in need, but also emotional support. We've seen people in the parking lot here consoling each other, others crying, the whole community, not just those impacted. They're trying to make sense of it all. How can this just happen in really an instant? You know, the fires broke out, and the next thing you know, it's ravaging communities. People are displaced. We see homes on fire. So it's been absolutely traumatic for those who are involved. And what's amazing in all this, you know, because there are multiple fires, it's not just the Pacific Palisades fire, but for example, the fire in the Hollywood Hills last night, we had a family come out, and they were so close to losing their home, and you would think that, you know, they would be inside their property or with loved ones. So they drove out here. They had a wagon full of food. You're going to hear from them in a second, but they said this is what they need to really get through what they're experiencing, being kind and generous and helping others who are in such a worse situation than they are. Take a listen to what this family told us.
What the fuck? Oh, he got stuck right there.
This is coming from the Beverly Hills community. If we can just show everyone, I mean, you packed everything you could.
Over 200 bottles of water. Yeah, we're doing great so far.
How do you do the
and food?
Bagels, cream cheese, coffee. We're trying to do as much as we can. We evacuated last night also from our home. So amidst all of this chaos, we're just trying to give back and do whatever we can. We're lucky that our home is still standing, but...
And which community is that?
We're up in Truesdale in the Hollywood Hills. Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills.
So surreal for those impacted, for those who are watching, for those who have friends and family who've lost everything.
It's absolutely devastating to see what's happening to our town, to see our friends that have lost their homes and lost everything, that ran out with just, I mean, thank God they're okay, which is the most important thing. The loss of life is very low, so that's the most important thing. But losing your home and your spirit is just, but we will come together as a community, and we will make sure that we rebuild and come out of this stronger than before. I mean, I have no doubt in my mind.
And the ability to see beyond what's going on in your own world. I mean, you came so close to losing everything, but yet you showed up today.
This one's way harder.
A wagon full of food and water.
Well, it's these two girls that inspired me, honestly. They are like, Mom, we have to do something. We can't just sit here and watch our community go down in flames.
See how emotional it is for you.
Yes, I'm so moved by them, and I'm just so inspired by everyone coming together. But to watch everyone lose their homes, it's just devastating. It really is. So we'll do whatever we can.
I'll get you next time.
Girls okay?
Yeah, we're okay. Just if anyone needs help, we're here. The Beverly Hills community is here to help everyone. We're all coming together to pick everyone else up and just hopefully do things for the better. There's the pain and the loss is unimaginable right now. So
okay, I haven't seen.
So amazing. I think Mom needs a hug. And we can't thank families like the one you just heard from enough, who are doing their part in such a big way in helping.
We
so
have to go in
thank you.
together.
I want to bring in now, and this is another
separate.
big component to what's happening here. And it really shows the magnitude of what people are dealing with. You have assembly members who arrived here at this recreation center earlier today. This center is in your district. It's in your adjacent district. Give me your names, please, and tell me what you've been hearing from your constituents.
So my name is Rick Chavez-Aguirre. I represent the 51st District, which runs roughly from Griffith Park and picks up the Hollywood Hills and runs all the way out to Santa Monica. So this is the main evacuation center that is in my district, but serving not only the folks that are in Pacific Palisades, but folks that were displaced in the Hollywood Hills, and then predominantly
so
folks that
bad.
are displaced in Santa Monica. A big chunk of the city
That
was
was so
evacuated
fucking bad.
yesterday, was subject to mandatory evacuations,
Lies.
and
I
so
can't leave on a
many of
bad
those folks
note.
didn't have places to go. They
7 kills,
either couldn't find
10
hotels or
assists,
couldn't
no
afford
deaths.
them. We actually have people that were living in facilities that needed services, and
sweat
a lot of
lord.
those people are actually being housed here. Hopefully over the course of the next day, the weather patterns are going to be such that their homes won't be at risk. But today they're still subject to potential risk, and so they have been evacuated and they need a place to go. We're hoping that many of the folks actually, when the evacuation orders are lifted, can go back home. But it's it's tens of thousands of people. I think there were 88,000 people as of last night that had been displaced from the Palisades fire, and that doesn't include the displacement from the Runyon Canyon fire from yesterday. But that 88,000 people have all been displaced from their houses, and this is only 250 beds. So there's a big need, and obviously it's just heartening
I don't know how to
to
use
see
the other healers.
the community come together. The Red Cross is doing an amazing job. We've been inundated with offers of both of our offices with offers of support.
And Isaac Bryan, Assembly Member, what have you been hearing from state and local officials regarding funding? This is what people are really impacted by, those who have nothing to go back to. We've been talking a lot about insurance. How will you help the community get back on their feet?
Well, absolutely. Speaker Rivas of the California State Assembly mentioned today that we're going to introduce legislation to expedite insurance claims. There was over $4 billion in the governor's budget that he introduced just a week ago. There was a $1.5 billion climate bond, Proposition 4 on voters' ballots, that Assemblymember Zebur and I worked tirelessly last year to get before the voters. All of that money is what we need, but this is an unprecedented climate emergency. I chair the Assembly Natural Resources Committee. There was no way to prepare for something like this that was so unprecedented. So we all have to show up. My constituents want to support. My constituents want to step up to the plate. Angelinos want to make this all of our problem. We are all impacted by this. That's why there's 8,000 frontline responders. That's why the largest firefighting air force in the country is in the air. That's why there's 50 dozers on the ground and so much more at stake. We're turning that corner. We're going to make this change, and then we're going to rebuild.
We're not just focusing on Pacific Palisades because there's so many communities impacted by fires, but Pacific Palisades, where you have a majority of the community just gone, wiped out. How do you begin to pick up the pieces? And that's what people are thinking about. What's the future going to be like in that community with so much gone?
Well, obviously, luckily the president has declared an emergency. The governor has as well. This is something that the community is going to need federal and state help on. Speaker Rivas has been very focused, as Assemblymember Bryan has mentioned, on making sure that we are actually standing up for all these communities impacted. This is sort of just the first step. Both Assemblymember Bryan and I were just talking to the folks from the Red Cross about the plans they have for the folks that are permanently displaced from this fire. And so, today this is providing temporary housing, but they're going to need support in terms of where they go next. It may be staying in hotels for a number of months, but they're going to need help rebuilding. And obviously, there are lots of other support in place. Insurance Commissioner Lada, who is the state insurance commissioner, is going to be coming out on site in the next few days trying to help people with insurance claims and expediting those. But it really is sort of all hands on deck, and I think the thing I can say is, as Assemblymember Bryan has said, is that the state government is committed to helping folks. This is an unprecedented disaster. It's one that I have not seen in the 30 years I've lived in Los Angeles, and it's something that we need to sort of step up for all members of our community to make sure people are able to get back on their feet.
I know this is something that never happens again for a long time, if so, but residents are frustrated. They are looking and they're saying our firefighters don't have the resources or aren't enough boots on the ground, our water supply. There's so many questions that if you didn't hear inside, you're going to be hearing from the community. They're not happy. What happened here?
In terms of the
something like this, preparing.
So, I don't know that you could ever prepare for something of this magnitude, but I've got to say that the state government, the governor and the state government stepped up immediately with almost hourly briefings with the Office of Emergency Services. We actually have teams coming in from Oregon and Washington and Nevada. There are trucks that are sort of on their way and are sort of getting here today. They're ramping up the response for the Palisades fire and the others in other parts of the state. So I think the governor has done an incredibly good job responding to this.
Thank you so much for your time. I know you're headed to a meeting. Thank you. We appreciate it. And you're hearing from some state leaders here just about the work that's currently underway and what residents and impacted communities can expect. So we're going to keep on top of that. There is so much need here and a lot of answers, a lot of questions still unanswered. So a snapshot of what's going on here behind the scenes as those assembly members talk to constituents and those impacted by the fire inside this recreation center. Really glad.
Corrine, thank you for that important information. And right now, the Red Cross has all the physical items needed to support those displaced by the fires. The first priority of the Red Cross is to provide shelter and immediate support to those affected, and financial donations, of course, the quickest and best way to help those in need. It's mainly those financial donations. They can be used right away to directly help those affected, such as replacing lost items like prescription medications or reading glasses. You can help people affected in our area by supporting our PTLA Cares campaign and donating to the Red Cross Disaster Relief. All you need to really do is scan that QR code on your screen, and it's got all your information. Also, there's the 1-800 number. It's really easy, 1-800-RED Cross or redcross.org/donate.
Let me change my character.
All right, let's get back up to Rich Prickett. He is in Sky 5.
Why would I am Loki?
Glenn and Lou, another look here of Pacific Palisades. Right there is Via de la Paz and Sunset Boulevard. So right in the center of the Palisades Village area. You can see just how much damage was sustained here during the fire. I know we have a lot of shops and supermarkets and other businesses right here in this area that were destroyed, but just countless homes as well right in this area. And as we slowly kind of widen out here, and it's just about every building you see here has some sort of damage or has been completely destroyed. Now we'll also go over towards the east here, up above the village, and show you some of those areas that have been completely destroyed as well. I believe we call this the Alphabet neighborhood, and all these streets here, just every block, every home, with the exception of a few, has been leveled, has been completely destroyed. There you can see that looks like to be a fire department right there in the middle. So just to kind of give you an idea as to where we are looking here, and we'll just continue to pan along Sunset Boulevard and north of Sunset. It's awful to see how many buildings and homes have been damaged here, have been destroyed. We're still seeing some active hot spots that are burning in this area, so there's the potential for some more buildings to be lost here in the Pacific Palisades. We're going to make a pan over here to the left, and which would be to the west. And here's another section that was destroyed: Mescal Canyon and Pacific Coast Highway. That entire community has been taken out. Now, moments ago, we took a ride up Pacific Coast Highway, and we were looking at the beachfront homes, essentially from Topanga Canyon all the way to Las Flores. That's where we were able to make it as far as to the north. And every single beachfront home, with the exception of a couple, were completely destroyed. So the coastline was no exception here as far as the beachfront home. That fire, the Palisades fire, burned all the way to the ocean and taken out nearly everything in its path. For now, I'm live over the Pacific Palisades. I'm Rich Prickett. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, boy, what a disaster.
Well, we haven't been able to really see a lot of this because we weren't able to fly it because of the gusts, the winds, and wow, when we were talking with the LA Animal Services woman, I think it hit us when we saw all of those homes along PCH and Malibu, and now we're seeing this destruction. We knew it was bad, but to see this, and just the trees, they're like little twigs.
Yeah, and it's, you'll see a home that, that's not completely torched and damaged, and they just stick out because of all the other damage around them. Obviously, these folks here, fire insurance, on the mind of a lot of these people who lost property.
And a lot of times, David, and David Lazarus is here. You know, a lot of people may assume that, you know, if you have a home like this or a large home, then of course you can afford fire coverage. But no, that's not necessarily the case, or it's not given.
Indeed, moreover, if you own coastal property like that, beach erosion is the thing that you mostly think about. You don't think about things going up in flames because you're right there on the water. This is a great example, as Kai's been talking about, of how the embers travel great distances, and you just never know they can even jump a fire break like the PCH. And there you go. In fact, my father, who used to live in the Malibu colony, was telling me about how when there were big fires up in Malibu once upon a time, the fire was burning down towards their houses, and he asked the fire department, what are you going to do about this? And they said, we're just going to let it burn. We're just going to let it go. And there's nowhere to go. You've got the ocean behind you, you've got the fire in front of you, and you are stuck. Now, for tens of thousands of SoCal property owners, they have seen their insurance either not renewed by the private insurers like State Farm and Allstate and Farmers, or they simply have been unable to get coverage because they've been deemed to be in a high-risk zone, and as a result, they've gone into the California Fair Plan. And if you don't know what that is so-called insurance of last resort. In other words, if you can't get insured by anybody else, you can go into this state-run program, and it's not funded by taxpayers. It is funded, in fact, by the insurance industry. To be honest, they don't mind a lot of people getting into it because it's bare bones coverage at a very high price, and so for them, well, it's more bang for their bucks. Now, the problem here is, can the Fair Plan, again, insurance of last resort, handle this much demand? The Fair Plan says they will be able to handle all claims that come their way, but it seems like it's an open question unless the insurance industry ponies up more cash. I've seen one estimate that says the Fair Plan might be looking at $6 billion in claims as a result of these fires, but keep in mind as well, because we've had so much coverage denied to so many homeowners, there is an estimate out there that all of the homes now covered by the Fair Plan have a combined value of nearly $500 billion. Again, this plan was not designed for that, so it's an open question now whether all of those claims can be filled. It also speaks to the fact that when you have a number of for-profit insurers all carving up the market and taking on risk only unto themselves, well, their first instinct is going to be to protect themselves and to protect their bottom line. Well, the reality is the art of insurance is the art of risk management. And unless you can spread risk as far and wide as possible, like, say, a single-payer healthcare plan, well, then you're going to have a lot of individual providers who are going to have their own specific needs. Clearly, what we've seen, as with healthcare, is that when it comes to property coverage, we don't have a plan right now that's going to be able to handle this level of risk.
David, you're a homeowner. You diligently and on time pay your premium each and every month for the last 30 years.
Indeed.
You make that call to your agent this morning, unfortunately. What's the timeline? What happens after this?
Processing a claim in this situation hopefully would handle expeditiously, but obviously with a caseload like this, your insurance agent and the company that employs that person is completely swamped at this point. So it can take a long, long time. And that's another problem for homeowners, because when it comes to rebuilding, well, California's price gouging laws will only go up to about 6 months. In other words, the law in California protects you from a more than 10% increase in the value of whatever you're purchasing, and when it comes to rebuilding, you have a 6-month window. Nobody is going to be rebuilding within 6 months. In other words, the price gouging protections will be expired by then. And now let's look at simple Econ 101. Supply and demand dictates that when there's a ton of demand and very little supply, prices go up. Well, you can be sure contractors are going to be in short supply, lumbers will be in short supply, concrete will be in short supply, and just simply the logistics of getting a lot of these materials to many of these neighborhoods is going to be an enormous challenge. This is going to push prices ever higher. A lot of coverage out there is not going to be able to accommodate those overages. Now, here's a good tip for people. Ask your broker about a rider that you can have attached to your policy that will accommodate increases in commodity costs. That is available. It will cost you a little more, but at the moment, obviously, that would be a godsend for a lot of these people, because there's going to be a lot of people who thought that they were covered to rebuild, and then will discover, we can't cover that anymore. Our insurance policy will only get us so far, and suddenly you're on the hook for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of additional expenditures.
When you say a long time, are you talking 3 months or a year, or
For rebuilding?
well, to get their attention and get the money that you need?
To process the claim.
Yeah.
I would think that in some cases it could take weeks, because obviously the insurance companies will try to staff up now to handle a situation like this. That said, there's going to be a lot of claims that are going to have question marks attached to them. Is this TV really worth that? Was your home really remodeled, or was it not? There's going to be a lot of back and forth, and I think that's going to run into the months. Also, one other thing, most homeowner policies will cover at least a portion of your evacuation costs, such as if you go to a hotel, meals you have to get. Keep your receipts.
That's
yes,
right.
You need to be able to document all of those expenses, especially if you're going to be out of your home for possibly weeks, if not months.
That's a great point, and we've talked about that a little bit with some other disasters of when the disaster happens. Keep those receipts of the evacuation plan. But it's on my list of things to do at my house is to take video of everything in my house, specifically when I get a new TV or if I get whatever, and I haven't done it, but that is really important to do, just to have that, so when you do talk to the insurance company and they're like, well, that TV, blah, 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 you can say, no, here's the TV, here's the warranty, and be able to give them those papers.
We've talked about that, and it only takes you 10 minutes to take your phone and walk around the house from room to room and record all of your things, from your appliances to electronics to what have you. Also, if you've done a remodel and the value of your home has changed, make sure you have those documents around as well. Those are things that should be in your go bag.
And once you get past the insurance process, and you got to deal with building permits, building inspectors. I had some friends of mine in Malibu that lost their home, I guess, about 5 years ago in a fire. It took them 3.5 years, about 3.5 years to get a rebuild.
Right.
Beautiful house now, probably worth 3 times what they had before. But boy, the process and the pain they went through to get that thing built was unbelievable.
I was thinking as well that there's going to be a number of homes that have variances, where they've been able to get exemptions from zoning laws for one reason or another. One wonders whether in rebuilding those variances will still apply. Can they be grandfathered in, or are you starting from scratch, which would change, of course, the whole equation.
All right, we're going to go to President Biden, who's given a briefing on fires out here in Southern California at the White House.
Call this group of
So
folks
anyways,
around this table
if you have
of all
guys
relevant
have
federal
been
departments and agencies
watching the
together
stream
to
so
discuss
far,
what
thank you so
more
much. Thank
we
you
can
for
do.
tuning in.
And
I'm
some
still
of the
on
folks on the screen
Firewatch,
as
by
well.
the way. So
Before
I'm
we begin
going
things, here's an update on where things stand right
going
now.
to go keep
First,
an eye out on that,
first,
'cause it looks
we focused on
Mexico
helping
filter
contain
outside,
these fires.
and
Over the last
yeah.
24
Thank
hours,
you guys for
the
tuning
United
into the
States
stream. I
Forest
hope you
Service,
enjoyed. If you want to see
working
more,
with state
if
and
you want to
local
see anything, just
responders,
let me
has
know.
suppressed over
Let
50
me know,
fire
and I'll
starts.
do it.
And the fire in the
after
Hollywood
the
Hills
stream
has been
too,
contained by brave
I'll be
firefighters risking their
eligible to
lives.
apply
Right
for,
now, 3 major
affiliate.
fires are still
So
burning
if I get it,
in the
you'll see
Pacific
a
Palisades,
stream,
in
a cam
Pasadena,
stream soon.
and in Sylmar.
So yeah.
I want to be
Thank you for
clear.
tuning in.
What
I'll
I
be
know
back.
from talking to the governor,
Bye-bye.
that there are concerns out there that there's also been a water shortage. The fact is, the utility
반짝이는 별빛들 깜빡이는 불 켜진 건물 우린 빛나고 있네 각자의 방 각자의 별에서 어떤 빛은 야망 어떤 빛은 방황 사람들의 부비들 모두 소중한 나눠 어두운 밤 외로운 몸 별처럼 다 오랜 빛나 사라지지 뭐큰 존재니까 Let it shine 어쩜 이 밤의 표정이 이토록 더 아름다운 걸 oh. 저 별들도 불빛도 아닌 우리 때문일 거야 You got me 난 너를 보며 꿈을 꿔 I got you 지독한 서로가 서로의 빛 같은 말을 하고 있었던 거울이 가장 깊은 밤에 더 빛나는 별빛 가장 깊은 밤에 더 빛나는 별빛 밤이 깊을수록 더 빛나는 별빛 한 사람의 하나의 역사 한 사람의 하나의 별 75개의 빛으로 빛나는 75가지의 world 75가지의 삶 도시의 야경은 어쩌면 또 다른 도시의 밤 각자만의 꿈 let us shine 넌 누구보다 밝게 빛나 One. 어쩜 이 밤의 표정이 이토록 아름다운 걸 저 어둠도 달빛도 아닌 우리 때문일 거야 You got me 난 너를 보며 꿈을 꿔 I got you 저 같은 밤들 속 서로가 본 서로의 빛 같은 말을 하고 있었던 걸 우린 가장 깊은 밤에 더 빛나는 별빛 가장 깊은 밤에 더 빛나는 별빛 깊을수록 더 빛나는 별빛 도시의 불 도시의 별 어릴 적 올려본 밤 하늘에